as the Trump administration has dramatically expanded who is subject to mandatory detention, data from ProPublica, an independent, nonpartisan newsroom, shows nearly 47,000 habeas cases have been filed in federal courts across the country since January 2025.
This might be the only way that you get out of detention.
Juliana Manzanares, an immigration attorney, explains why more of her clients are asking about habeas corpus. What is it? In Latin, it means you should have the body, and it requires a judge to literally have a detainee physically present to weigh the legality of their detention.
Now, more and more, we're seeing it in the immigration world, challenging prolonged detention, that they've been there for too long, that they have an order of deportation, but they can't actually be deported to their home country.
Data from ProPublica finds more habeas cases filed in the first 13 months of the second Trump administration than in the past 3 administrations combined. Here in Arizona, there have been nearly 1,700 of them. Manzanares says people are desperate. The deportation process now routinely happens in less than 2 months. If your habeas petition is granted, it can really slow down the process. What are the chances of winning something like this?
I think in Arizona, it really is judge specific.
Manzanares says in her experience, results can be mixed. While anyone can apply, she points out it's another legal proceeding, which is separate from deportation and costs more money.
Let's also look at what your defense in immigration court could be. Let's look at what your possibilities at a bond hearing are.
She says if you're in the U.S. on a visa, you get a bond hearing. While we have numbers on how many petitions have been filed, we don't have any information on the outcomes of those cases. Amy Cutler, Arizona's Family Investigates.